For the conservative movement, Judaism and Zionism have always been inseparable. In fact, it's possible that Stephen Wise met Solomon Schechter at that Zionist Congress, because Solomon Schechter was involved in the Zionist movement and attended the early congresses. And while the leaders of the movement have run the gamut in their political views, we've had leaders of ZOA, we've had leaders on the left in Avodah, we run the gamut politically. What we share is a commitment to Judaism as the religion of the Jewish people, whose homeland is Israel. And while following the Six-Day War in the United States, many people saw Israel as the religion of American Jews. For the conservative movement, Israel was a part of being Jewish. It wasn't our religion, it came out of it. It was integral. It was just an essential part of what it means and who we are. Former Chancellor of JTS, Rabbi Dr. Ismar George, identified 7 basic principles of conservative Judaism. The first 3 of them are connected to Zionism: the centrality of modern Israel, Hebrew, the irreplaceable language of Jewish expression, and third, the devotion to the ideal of Klal Yisrael. And then, of course, he goes on to talking about Torah and halacha and belief in God. But look what he lists first. And that for us, this is essential. That for us, being a Zionist is not about the politics. It's about a belief in Israel as the Jewish homeland. And it goes beyond Tikkun Olam. And of course, we share that belief in Tikkun Olam. And it's our job to work to make sure that Israel lives according to Jewish values. And we deal with that. For us, there are 2 basic pieces, 2 serious questions that we have to think about. What do we do for American and for worldwide Jewry to engage Jews in Israel, so that we all end up loving Israel and that we understand that it's part of us? Whether or not we agree, it's part of us. And the second piece is, what do we do in Israel to make Israel a place that we're proud of? Because whether or not we're proud of Israel, it's still our homeland. And that's the piece that we have to deal with in today's world. So the conservative movement has really done quite a lot. And when I think about it, I'm a 3rd-generation conservative Jew. And I grew up as a Zionist. My grandfather founded a conservative synagogue. My mother grew up in a conservative synagogue. So what did I learn? The first thing we learned in afternoon school was Hebrew, because Hebrew was important. Hebrew was the language of the Jewish people. And that's still true. Even with the reduced number of hours in our schools today, all of our children learn how to read Hebrew and learn that Hebrew is the language of the Jewish people. And then as we grow up through our movement and through our synagogues, through Ramah and through USY, it's all about the centrality of Israel. It's in our tefillot that our Siddur includes an Al Hanisim for Yom HaAtzmaut, where we thank God for the miracle of the creation of the state of Israel, in the same way we add an Al Hanisim for Hanukkah and an Al Hanisim for Purim. And that's a basic part of our liturgy. That's who we are. That's what we do. And then we have to go on and teach people about what's going on behind the scenes, about the good stuff. All the things that are going on in Israel that make us so proud. And we need to bring Israel to our Kehilot, and as well as the members of our Kehilot to Israel. But we've created a whole variety of opportunities in Israel. When we look at what we've done, we've got US-wide programs. And quite frankly, I recently discovered that I first met the president of USCJ on US-wide pilgrimage, because that's what conservative Jews do. That they go on these programs. We have Ramah, we have USY, we have Nativ, we have a highly regarded gap year program run by USY. USCJ has run the conservative yeshiva, bringing Jews to Israel for Torah Lishma, a non-degree granting program. We've got a school, a rabbinical school in Israel that next month will ordain its 92nd Israeli rabbi. We've done amazing things to make Israel a better place. And what are our people doing in Israel? They're bringing good Jewish values. We've got Masorti rabbis who are now bringing professionalism to a chaplaincy program in hospitals in Israel. Okay, and that's coming out of us. Okay, I'm totally only 1 more minute, but I want to say, are we happy with everything that's happening in Israel? The answer is no. We're not happy with the Kotel, the conversion law, you know the list. But being a Zionist means that believing Israel is the homeland of the Jewish people, and that it's our job to work to make it a place that we can be proud of, and what we can do in partnership, because we're part of the Jewish people, we're part of Am Yisrael, and that goes beyond politics. And that's what it means for a conservative Masorti Jew to be a Zionist.
Thank you.